Welcome to our next webinar, and I'm really pleased to be introducing Sam from Twinkl Newsroom. So hello to Sam.
Hi everyone, great to be here once again, and hi, and thanks Christy for the introduction.
Yeah, my pleasure. So so Sam's going to be going through with us a little bit about Twinkl Newsroom, what it is, and also sharing with us how we can use it as part of journey. Obviously, if you have any questions whatsoever, then do pop them in the chat and we'll do our best to answer those. So yeah, I'm going to just add your presentation for you, and yeah, over to you, Sam.
Well, thanks Christy. So hi everyone. So as Christy said, this would just be a presentation as an introduction to Twinkl Newsroom. If you are already using Twinkl Newsroom, I'll have some other tips about how you can use it as well, and be showing you some of our other content as well during this presentation. I just thought to get us started off, we might do a quick kind of warm-up activity. It's only just for fun, and I'm going to show you some news headlines, and I just want you to tell me in the comments whether you think it's real or not real at all, a fake story at all. So just to get us started, just a bit of fun. So is this a real or fake story? A company created a cheese and onion flavoured chocolate bar with cheese and onion flavoured crisps in. Was that real or was it fake? What do you think? Have a type your answer in the comments at all if you wish. I'll give you about 10 seconds to do that. So we've got 10, 9. It was.
We've got some people saying real. I don't think it's real. I think it's fake.
It was real.
Oh.
It wasn't not the top of my wish list. I've got to say I'm not a big cheese and onion flavour. I'm not a fan of cheese and onion flavoured crisps, but yeah, it did happen. Okay, next. A calf was born with smiley face masking. So a calf. Was this real or was it fake? What do you think? Give you just quick time. Yeah. Have a go. Have a think. Was this a true story or was it fake?
Well, I'm going to wait for some of the chat to come through because there's often a tiny little bit of a delay.
Okay.
But I reckon, again, that's got to be fake because that is a very perfect smiley face. That's far too perfect to be real. But people in the chat are disagreeing with me again. People in the chat are going for real as well. So maybe I'm wrong again.
Well, let's have a look. It was in fact true. It was true. A calf, creatively called, originally called Happy. You got to say, I don't think the farmer took too long to come up with that name. It was it was true.
It's incredible.
I know. Would you believe? So would you believe it? And then finally,
paintbrush. I'm still not convinced.
You've been being a critical thinker, I think we'd say there, Christy, which is good. Using your critical thinking skills. And then a French bulldog was elected mayor of a town in Kentucky. What do we think? Is this a real story? Is it a fake story?
Wow. I quite like the name, Wildebeest. That's quite good.
Yeah, they're pretty. I think they replaced Labradors as the nation's favourite dog recently. Bulldogs. I can't remember if that's in the States or the UK, but they're definitely.
They're quite popular.
They're definitely popular.
Well, I'm going to have to go real because I've been caught out twice. I'm just waiting on the chat, but I don't know whether people are going to agree with me. This again does sound very strange, having a dog elected a mayor. Oh no, there's people are changing their mind in the chat, so people are going for fake, and they don't think this one's true.
Well, let's have a look. I'm afraid I've been a bit cheeky and put 3 true stories in there. I'm afraid so yeah, a bit cheeky this time, but it was in fact a true story. So there was it's a titular title, so he wasn't actually literally. Don't think he had any power at all. The dog. So it's a tradition they have in this place in the USA, but it's just a fun thing they do. But he was elected like
Amazing.
the mayor
Might
in a kind
have
of
a very special like badge to go on his collar or something.
yeah, maybe he needs a little gold chain, doesn't he, for his to me.
Definitely.
Okay, so yeah, that was a bit of fun, just to get us a bit warmed up. So I just wondered, like, just before we got started, whether you use any, whether you talk about the news with your learners, and if so, what resources do you currently use at the moment? Is it is it things like Newsround or anything else? I don't know if we wanted just to share some things before I got started and introduce Newsroom to you.
I'm just waiting on the chat. I have to be honest, we kind of tend to just sort of talk about it. I don't actually use as many news resources as we would like.
Okay.
I know lots of home editors also use that paper. There's like a children-friendly paper, but its name absolutely escapes me right now.
Yeah, I think there's things like First News, maybe some people might have thought of, or the Week Junior is also quite popular. Yeah,
that seems to be quite popular. Lots of people actually watch Newsround and just sort of discuss what's going on in the news. So yeah, most people sort of are having lots of discussions and First News. So people are using First News. So yeah.
So yeah, lots of names there, and hopefully I'll be showing you Newsroom today, and might be one. I hope by the end of this talk it'll be something that you'll be happy using as part of a source for you to refer to. So I guess I want to start off by saying why I talk about the news and why Newsroom kind of exists in a way. Well, we believe that sometimes talking about the news is a great way to support talking about the news with like age appropriate facts and language is a great way to support children's well-being. Newsroom does a lot of, we try in general to focus on what people are doing to take action in their communities, whether that's to helping others or and just trying to help explain what's going on in using age appropriate language. We also think the news is great for starting conversations and helping children become more articulate and explaining their own opinions with like exciting topics that appear in the news. And also the news is great for getting children curious about the world around them and what's going on in different communities outside of their own. And we also think that news articles could be a great way of developing a love of reading, like building a regular reading habit, and also exposing children to a broader range of genres. And I think I've come to a few of you might have seen me lurk on posting stuff on the Twinkl home educator page, and some of the messages I've received from there on Newsroom in particular is how a few home editors love using it in the morning over breakfast. So it can be a great way to start your learning day. Is what some home editors have fed back. So this was one home editor who said that we love the daily news in our house. I print it off and leave it for them in the morning. And I think another home editor also mentioned how they loved how like the children love reading it while having their morning toast. I had a great image of like them having some nice nice jammy toast and reading the story. So an exciting topic can be a great way in the news, can be a great way of like sparking that curiosity, those learning behaviors that can get children ready to go throughout the day. And I'll be showing you as well how you can use Newsroom throughout the day if you want to extend learning further. So what is Twinkl Newsroom? So what do we provide? So Twinkl Newsroom is a daily child-friendly provides daily child-friendly news articles written by teachers. So all our team are experienced Key Stage 2 teachers. So the articles are aimed primarily for children in years from ages 7 to 11. So that's English years 3 to 6. The younger version of the article might be appropriate for, like, say, a really confident Key Stage 1 reader, but or they might need some help with some parental help with reading it. Each article comes with reading questions, so these questions are linked to different reading domains, and they help like children build up different reading skills, whether that's like retrieval, trying to find facts, or summarizing, explaining an article in 15 words or fewer. Try to cover as many different comprehension strands as we can. And the articles are available every weekday during term time on the Twinkl Newsroom page. We do have articles during the traditional holiday periods like August, but maybe not as regular as every weekday during these periods. And I'll try to show you the Twinkl home page now. I'll just see if I can share that with you. So the Twinkl Newsroom page is where you can find all Twinkl Newsroom's articles. To find the page, you can just go to the Twinkl homepage, and if you type Newsroom into the search bar, that'll take you straight there. And to access an article, you can just simply click on it, and then we have a green button here which allows you to download the pack. So in true Blue Peter fashion, I can show you tomorrow's article, which is about a hands-free car that's been made available in the UK. So there's in the pack there's two articles, one for what we call lower Key Stage 2, so that's ages 7 to 9, so that's school years in England 3 to 4, and another article for children between the ages of 9 and 11, so that's school years 5 to 6 in England. There is an article, and we have like glossary words at the bottom to help explain any key terms, and the comprehension questions as well. And there's no need to print the articles if you don't want to, because children can, if you have an electronic device, children can type the answers on there, and then maybe hand it to you to have a look at, to check they've got the correct answer. I mentioned a while ago that we also have like tasks. Should children be like inspired by a topic? So you might have your children maybe be big fans of cars and be really interested in this topic, and they might want to, and it might lead them to, if you've got quite a flexible curriculum, they might want to learn about this more during the day. And so we have a task sheet as well that can help children explore, investigate, and do some writing in response to a topic. So in this in the Explore, looks at very much at like research, so it could be finding out about like the history of the car, those kind of like maybe topic-based skills, so having children to do some research. The Investigate looks more at like STEM, so science and maths, or it could be asking children to like maybe ask some trusted adults what they've, surveying trusted adults in response to a story. And the right section, or the reflect and discuss here, helps children to think about a question and then write their own opinion based on an open-ended question. So here we have, is the car the greatest invention of all time? Sorry.
Pop your PowerPoint back on, because I think where you're sharing your screen for the website, I don't think that I think then it's lost the PowerPoint.
Oh, okay, sorry. Sorry, yeah, I'll pop that back on. Sorry about that.
No, not at all.
I've just finished on that bit, so I'll go back to put the PowerPoint on now. Sorry about that.
No, don't worry about it at all.
So yeah, as I said, there was an extension task as well if you wanted to extend that. So the reflect and discuss helps children write an answer in response to an open-ended question. So lots that you can do beyond just reading the article. So next bit I'm going to do is just maybe show you how you can use the article to pull up some like reading comprehension type skills. These could be like great questions that you could have just up your sleeve when looking at the articles to check in with children's understanding. So one thing that you could do with the articles is, if it's not immediately obvious, focus on the image. You might want to focus on the image first and get you to predict what the story could be about. If it's quite obvious, so this one refers to someone called Cleopatra, you might want to ask John what they already know about Cleopatra, so you can have those initial conversations before going straight into the article. One thing that you may want to do, depending if you would like for your readers to, if your children are more confident reading quietly, you might want to get them with a pencil to underline any words or phrases that they don't understand, and then have a conversation with them about this once they've finished doing an initial read in their heads. This is great for checking in with children about their understanding of the text. Another thing that you could do, and could be quite fun, is can children explain the story? Asking your child if they can explain the story in 15 words or fewer. It's a great skill of like summarizing an article. What's the main message? And particularly with a news article like this one, children might begin by focusing on, the life of Cleopatra, where actually, what you really want to pull out is the fact that they might have discovered her tomb. So really drilling down to what the most newsworthy aspect is. And then at the end, when you finish reading the article and they finish doing the comprehension questions, you might want to ask like an open-ended question to help children like explain their point of view. It could be, how did the article make them feel? Even if they say they were bored, try and get them to see if they can justify that with like a because. I know that I might be clutching at straws with that one, but it might be worth it. Or you could ask them if they've learned what they've learned today about Cleopatra that they didn't know previously, or adapt that to another news article. Again, just some more activities that you could do around the text. So can children think of a different headline that explains the story? So could you say they could, for example, get them to write a 5-word headline or a 10-word headline, sorry, 5 words might be a bit tricky, that gives the same, that explains the story but using different words. If the story is more light-hearted, so for example, as we saw with the choc and door example, earlier in the slides with the cheese and onion crisp flavored, you might want to explore the use of puns or something like that and have a play around with wordplay if it's more light-hearted story, as I say. You might want to pull out certain pieces of vocabulary, check out what does this mean. So here, what might the phrase remain a mystery mean? And just get children to check in with that. A great kind of the news articles, as of non-fiction articles, is great for practicing the skill of retrieval. So getting children to find a word or phrase in there, but instead of reading it slowly, they're trying to scan quickly to find that phrase. So if you have 2 children reading the article, or maybe just one, you might want to play a game of fastest finger first, where you say a word and then children have to spot it as quick as they can. Another thing which is great with news articles is to look at the mixture of fact and opinion in there. So can children identify that Cleopatra is the most famous of all pharaohs, is probably an opinion, because you could say that's Tutankhamun, or a fact that she was born around 69 BC. Can children tell the difference between those? And some other comprehension questions you might always want to have just to interrogate the article further. You might want to ask, children to predict what they think will happen next, and how they think certain people might feel about this news story. So how might archaeologists feel about this news story, or how might, if it was a space one, if it was something more to do with space, could be how might scientists feel about this news story. So there are a few kind of tips and pointers that you might want to use when exploring the articles further. Okay, so that's just a quick overview of Newsroom. Just to say, if you're interested in using Newsroom with your learners, you can follow me on Twitter at @newsroom_Sam, and I put all the articles for Newsroom up on there. So it's great if you want to keep up to date, you can find them there. I also appear regularly on the Home Educators Facebook page as well. I'm Sam Cares in that. And for all the Newsroom articles, you can go to www.twinkl.co.uk/newsroom, or simply type in Newsroom in the Twinkl search bar to get to the site. Okay, so that wraps up what I was going to say. I hope you found that interesting, and just leave some time for any questions. If you are going now, thanks so much for your time, and look forward to hearing from you in the future.
So we have got one question, and that is, do you offer any Key Stage 3 content? And I suppose if you don't, how can you develop the Newsroom stuff to sort of accommodate slightly older learners?
We don't have any Key Stage 3 content at the moment. I know that Twinkl Beyond, which is provide Key Stage 3 resources, do a section called Debate, which looks at it's not so much, doesn't provide news articles as such, but looks at very topical issues in the news, which can help children unpack and explore those topics further. In terms of using Newsroom for Key Stage 3, we do get a lot of downloads. We do get quite a few downloads from users in Key Stage 3, and we like to think that our articles can be appropriate for learners in Year 7 as well, because we are asking quite challenging questions for Year 6s. But I think at the moment, that's how you could use Newsroom in a Key Stage 3 setting.
So so definitely the debate pack. So we'll pop a link in the debate packs. And I think that the articles are still a great springboard, even if you are definitely Key Stage 3. Thank you so much, Sam, for joining us. I don't think that there are any further questions, but if people do, then do pop them in the chat, or if you're watching on catch up, then do pop them in the chat, and we will get them over to Sam, because we are compiling a blog of all kind of questions that are asked that we don't get time to go through in a webinar, or if people are watching on a little bit later. So if we get any further questions, we will ask you. But thank you so much for your time. It was really, really useful. Also, for everyone watching live, there'll be a link in the chat for our guest book. So do go ahead and head over to the guest book and let us know about your experiences. I hope to see you at some of the rest of the webinars that we have going on this week. Thank you very much.
Thanks, everyone.